Alrighty, so the 2024 presidential election in the United States of America is officially confirmed for former President Donald Trump. Now, the purpose of this video is to just offer some perspective and some encouragement after this week's election results. And I want to first acknowledge that I'm sure there are plenty of emotions, whether it's outrage or extreme excitement. There are tons of emotions about this week's election, and that's what I kind of want to discuss in today's video. Whether your emotions are emotions of frustration, worry, anxiety, or whether it's excitement, inspiration, optimism, I just want to just say that this video is for both of you. And this video is for just to shed some light of encouragement. And I just want to assure my viewers that whatever you are feeling this week, they are valid, and we understand you and we acknowledge you, and you are welcome to share those feelings. No matter who you voted for, no matter whether or not, even if you voted, your feelings matter, your ideas matter, your perspective matters. I just want to reassure that things will be okay. You know, the United States of America, its politics has been built around change. The idea of the United States of America was built around change. And political changes are a long journey. And although they may feel intense, especially during an election season or even an election year, they are not the whole story of America. They're not the whole story of our lives. This country has been through numerous divisive periods throughout our history, and we've somehow found a way to come back and unite and to move forward and to be optimistic and hopeful. Any real change that we do see in our lives in this country, they come in small increments. They're not just going to change over one election. They will change over multiple elections, multiple generations. And that's something that I think needs to kind of be acknowledged now. Just because the election's over, it does not mean that your fight for whatever change you want to see in this country ends and will only be reignited 4 years from now. Real change can happen now. It can start today. It can start whenever you feel is right. And don't feel discouraged or feel set back just because a certain election did not go your way. The world will move on. This country will move on. And now is the time to unite everyone instead of remain divisive or remain hostile around those that you don't agree with. What I want to encourage you to do is to work with people around you, even if you don't agree with them, and work with them to find common ground, to find similarities, to share your ideas, to understand other people's ideas. And in the end, this is how we will truly unite. We are the United States of America. This is not the divided States of America. And when we unite, it does not necessarily mean that we agree with one another. I have really close friends that I deeply, deeply disagree with them on major issues, but that doesn't mean that they're the enemy. They're not a bad person. They just have different views. The majority of America voted for Donald Trump. That does not mean that the majority of America is evil. They're not the enemy. See, it's important to understand that a presidential election is like one major family reunion. It is the family reunion that happens every 4 years. And this election season, if it taught us anything, it is actually that this country just wanted change. That's simply it. The country wanted change. And the majority of voters who voted for Trump, that's not to say that they agree with everything that Trump says. I can almost assure you that the majority of Trump voters do not agree with every single thing that Trump stands for. But what I will tell you is that they wanted change. They wanted something different. Their lives right now are not working in the current administration that is in power in Washington. That's just the reality of it. And this was a very historic election because it really showed, wow, tons of people thought that this wasn't going to go Trump's way, but I mean, the country spoke, man, and they are just very dissatisfied with the current status of this country. And I think that's a really important thing to point out, that you can hate the guy, but clearly what you hate about him is not on the priority list of majority of Americans who voted for him. There's something deeper than his attitude or his demeanor or the weird, horrible things that he might say at times. That doesn't matter to majority of Americans. What matters to them is, can I keep a roof over my head? Can I save to take my kids to college? Can I feed my family? That is their priority. There's that famous saying, right? It's the economy, stupid. Like, that's the number one issue. And it makes me wonder, like, people who are disappointed that Trump won or just completely shocked that he won. I noticed that they refer to, like, the women's rights issue, which I totally understand. But, for you, and, if you're somebody who has those views of, like, women's rights are in jeopardy and women's reproductive rights are going to be taken away, if that's your view, I totally understand. And you have valid reasons to feel afraid. But you can't insist that every American has those fears. A lot of Americans don't have those fears. And a lot of Americans just simply don't care. That's not on their priority list. If you look at the exit polls during this election, you'll see that it's the economy. It's everyday lifestyle that is affecting them, that they want to see change. And that's simply the reason why he won. That's something that we just have to acknowledge, whether you voted for him or not. This is a democracy. And, you can say, oh, well, the Electoral College is the problem. We need to get rid of the Electoral College. Okay, fair. I kind of agree with that. I'm not a huge fan of the Electoral College. I think it's a very outdated system, to be very honest with you. But take away the Electoral College, I mean, the man won the popular vote. He won the popular vote, like, pretty definitively. Like, there's no arguing that. And now we can't use the Electoral College as the excuse. He won the popular vote. At the end of the day, I just want to emphasize, change starts with small local efforts. And what I want to encourage you is to stay informed about the policies that are being talked about, the politics of our current climate, and to just stay engaged. When I see that people are shocked about the results, it makes me wonder, like, are these people just not that informed about what's going on right now in the politics of America? Like, did they just tune in, like, in September of 2024 or something? Like, these are issues that have been hurting Americans for, like, a long time, and to the point where they go to the ballot box and they vote a certain way. So I just really want to encourage you to, like, if you are really, really upset about this election, and again, your feelings are valid, no matter how you feel, your feelings are valid. I just want to encourage you to get more involved, become a little bit more engaged with your community, with your local offices, and try to work towards the change that you want to see in this country. Politics can be very overwhelming, especially, like, during an election week, where, like, that's all that the media talks about. That's all that you see on your social media feeds. And I think it's important to just take a break from it, take a step back, go for a walk, go to your favorite, I don't know, smoothie shop, ice cream shop, reach out to family and friends, just chat, Try to get your mind off of it and just try to engage in activities that bring you joy, and that can get your mind off of what you're feeling right now about the election. Because remaining mentally and emotionally well is extremely important for like long-term efforts and long-term involvement in any, political social causes that you want to fight for in the future. So I just want to thank you for tuning in on this quick little video that I wanted to make. And I just want to remind you that this week's events is just a small step in a long journey for major change. Again, whether you are happy about the results or whether you're upset about the results, change has occurred in this country. And whether you view it as a positive or negative change, I truly believe that all change is good. So when there is a change like this in this country, I feel like we are taking steps in the right direction, no matter if I agree with the politics or not. What matters is that we stay informed and we still work towards the change that we want to see in this country. And we need to do so in a positive, optimistic, and forward thinking way. So that'll do it for me. If you like this content, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. It would really bring me great joy to see that what I'm sharing is effective or is helping you in some way. If you have any thoughts, please go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.